Transport history. The history of transport was the history of humanity. Each and every one of societies has had the need to move objects and merchandise. Thus, the need to load objects and distribute them among different territories is the origin of land transport, but also of maritime transport and air transport. The transport was a means of moving people or goods from one place to other. Commercial transport was modern and was in the public interest. Services and included demand and infrastructure involved in the movement of people or goods. Ground transport. This need to be able to transport things with great volume and which could not be supported by a single animal. They took good that the creation and suitcase drive of the wheel. It's apparent in his prehistory and has been one of the most wonderful inventions in all of history, and it is that even today we use it daily. Your yes today it has evolved so much that its inventors will be unable to reckon their word invention. They will await the evolution of means of land transport and the arrival of man to shoot distant places in less and less time. Horse-drawn carriages and the earth led to the emergence of a kind of material thanks to the ensemblage of trade routes. A little later, other methods of land transport emerged, such as the bicycle, which was the origin of the motorcycle and this instead of the automobile. Man has always been scratched for a ways to invent a device that could transport him quality of comfort without the need to use animal. In 1882, oil was discovered and little by little more inventions emerged that used this fuel, arriving for a more than the car. With the First World War, transportation needs increased and to emergent buses and the later motor industry that exists today that includes many different transportation methods and ride urban transport, metro or high-speed rail. Its evolution has been essential to guarantee the supply of food and kinds of goods and services. It's been fundamental for the advancement of humanity in the shift. Maritime transport. Maritime transport was a means of transporting passengers and or cargo, and it developed throughout the sea. It allowed to export and import merchandise around the world in the various types of vessels. The mercantile marine was a country filled of ships manned by trident sailors approved by International Maritime Organization. will await the evolution of means of land transport and the arrival of man to shoot distant place in less and less time. Horse-drawn carriages and the earth led to the emergence of a kind of material thanks to the ensemblance of trade routes. A little later, other methods of land transport emerged, such as the bicycle, which was the origin of the motorcycle, and this is turn of the automobile. Man has always been scratched for a way to invent a device that could transport him quality without the need to use animal. In 1882, oil was discovered and little by little more inventions emerged that used this fuel, arriving for a more than the car. Air transport. Air transport was type of means capable of transporting passengers or goods by means of airplanes or other means that move by air. It was considered the safest means of transport as it had great technical advances, great security, and large number of electronic instruments that guaranteed its safety. Its movement was controlled by means of the air and considered of engineers to have its flight capacity. Warburg and Weber Wright were the first to make and fly, and they did so on the heaviest apparent ever created, the Kitty Hawk in the Northern California in 1903. However, it was not until after the First worldwide air transport reached a prominent place in the country. After World War, the plane became stronger and safer. Warburg and Weber Wright were the first to make and fly, and they did so on the heaviest apparent ever created, the Kitty Hawk in the Northern California in 1903. However, it was not until after the First worldwide air transport reached a prominent place in the country. After World War, the plane became stronger and safer. In 1906, Roman inventor Trasport created and managed to fly the first self-projected aircraft. In 1958, one of the main advances in aeronautics occurred with the inauguration of British and American 747. In 1070, the so-called jumbo jet heirs of the transport were created or formatted. The history of transport had a great impact since